Welcome back to Scratching the Surface. This is Kat. I'm a mindset coach and thought leader. And over the years, coaching thousands of leaders and helping people, I've realized one thing for certain. People have egos. Egos are just a way to protect ourselves, right? And most people go through life making decisions based off of their ego. What's going to make me look the best? What decision is going to help me feel important, look cool, show my friends and family I'm something, right? What is going to help me show to other people that I'm everything they thought I was? Okay. And the problem with making decisions off of your ego, not your core values, is that you have a disconnect between your core beliefs, your core values, the things that matter most to you, and who you're portraying. What you believe is not matching your actions. And that gap causes people a mental discomfort called cognitive dissonance, okay? And sometimes it happens because of ego. Sometimes it's just you're too uncomfortable to face the truth of your own beliefs. You don't want to face yourself. Or worse, you don't even know yourself. But cognitive dissonance exists when there is a gap between what you believe and how you act. Let's say you know that smoking is bad for you, but you keep smoking. And every time you smoke, a little piece of you dies, right? You're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I know this isn't good for me, but I can't stop. And now you feel you're drifting farther and farther away from what you believe. And as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a self-starter, it's so important to know what are your core values. Core values can be intrinsic or extrinsic. So if they're intrinsic, think about personal growth, family, meaningful work. These are intrinsic things that help you feel good about life on a personal level. Extrinsic are more external factors. Think praise and recognition, think monetary compensation. Not one value is better than another. These are just different facets that make up who we are. These things can be impacted by childhood, right? Your family, school, societal norms, television, and even social media nowadays. We're getting told what to believe in left and right since we were children. But how can we strip back what we were taught and think about what actually matters to us? And I'll give you some studies that show that from ages 1 to 7, our parents tell us what to believe. Our core values are dependent on our parents. And ages 8 to 13, so think about middle school, is all about what you see in sports, TV, maybe some of your friends. And as you get into high school, your core values are impacted by your peers, right? What do your friends think is cool? Who do you think they would want you to be? And 21 plus, we'll see your core values are tested. Your core values are tested when you figure out what you want to do with your life, right? Get your first job, get your partner. They're even more tested when you experience hardship and grief. And so your core values can change over the period of life. And I talked about hardships over life and how this can impact your core values. In 2019, I was focused on praise and recognition, right? Titles, things that helped me feel like I was a high achieving person. I valued staying up late, working hard, and making money. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then you see, one day, my core values were tested. They were tested when my mother passed away, right, in 2020. And all of a sudden, when I woke up that next day after her passing, I realized I hadn't really seen my family that much. I hadn't really prioritized what mattered to me. I had a quarter life crisis, okay? A quarter life crisis. And my values were tested. And I realized I need to spend more time with my family, and I need to shift my work from one field to a community-based purpose. I wasn't going to work in the same way with the same hours in the day that I was doing before her passing. I need to change up how I was spending my day, how I was using my time, and how I was serving others. And I needed this shakeup to realize and test, are my core values still the same? And the answer was no. I dramatically did a 180. And so sometimes the most important things to you can change, and that's okay. But as long as you learn to make decisions based off of what matters most to you, you will live a more authentic and fulfilling life. So I want to leave you with a thought of how you show up for yourself, how you make decisions based off of your core beliefs is essential, because that's how you lead others. Your employees have more differences in their core values than you could imagine. One employee is focused on family, but you're giving so much work to that employee that they're not able to tuck their kids in at night, right? You're having them work late hours, early mornings. They're not able to show up to work based off of their core values. What beliefs are important to you? Is it family? Is it meaningful work? Is it serving? Is it your purpose, right? What's important to you? And match those core beliefs with your actions. And when you start bridging the gaps, Adam Grant states, this leads to greater life satisfaction. So think about, are you making decisions from your most authentic self? Or are you making decisions from your ego? I hope you found this podcast helpful. And if you liked what you heard, follow me on Instagram, scratching the surface _cat, and on Spotify, Scratching the Surface.